Good morning, children. Welcome to online physical science class. This is standard 7th physical science class. Uh, Today we will be starting the new unit in chemistry, fifth unit, the language of chemistry. The language of chemistry. So, the chemical reactions. What is a chemical reaction? We have learned this word, chemical reaction. What is chemistry? Chemistry is the science of substances and their transformation. What are chemical reactions? In a chemical reaction, a reactant is a substance that changes to another substance and called a product. So, what is a chemical reaction? A substance, a reactant is a substance which changes to another substance called product. Okay, that is a chemical reaction. Okay, children. So, reactants will be there, product will be formed, and the overall reaction is called to be a chemical reaction. And you can represent the chemical reaction by equations, chemical equations. So, a chemical reaction is represented by chemical equation. For example, carbon and oxygen reacts to form carbon dioxide. Okay, see here this is called word equation. Here it is written in words, so this is called word equation. Instead of writing in words, we can also represent the equation in symbols. We know the symbol for carbon. What is the symbol for carbon? It is C. So C plus a symbol for oxygen is O2 forms CO2. This is called chemical equation. This is called what? Chemical equation. Do you understand what is a chemical equation, children? Yes. So how does this chemical reactions takes place? Atoms rearrange themselves in a chemical reaction. Atoms rearrange themselves in a chemical reaction. How the atoms rearrange themselves in a chemical reaction? For example, when carbon dioxide forms carbon, when burned in air, carbon forms carbon dioxide. Okay, when carbon is burnt in air, it forms carbon dioxide. So, how this forms? The atoms of carbon. Look at the diagram. The atoms of carbon are given, right? The atoms of carbon are given. So, the atoms of carbon and the atoms of oxygen, the molecules of oxygen, when they combine, how they rearrange themselves. See, the molecules of oxygen are inserted or get inserted into the carbon See, the reddish one are the oxygen molecules and the grey one are the carbon molecules. The carbon molecules, they themselves get arranged with the oxygen molecules. Okay, that's the compound carbon dioxide is formed. Do you understand, children? So, the atoms of the reactants rearrange themselves in the chemical reaction. Is it clear? Hope you have understood this concept well, children. Similarly, look at another example. Hydrogen molecules, they react with the oxygen molecules to form water. Okay, hydrogen molecules reacts with the oxygen molecules to form water. So, the oxygen, they rearrange themselves. Okay, they rearrange themselves. We know the formula for water, H2O. So, each hydrogen atom combined with the two oxygen atom and forms the water molecules. Okay, children. So, they rearrange themselves and form the new product, and that is called a chemical reaction. So, in chemical reactions, generally we can say that the atoms rearrange themselves. Is it clear? Chemical reactions are also accompanied by energy changes. Chemical reactions are also accompanied by energy changes. A reaction in which heat is absorbed. So, absorbed means taken in. So, the such heat reactions are called exothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. The heat is taken inside by the reaction. While the reaction is taking place, the temperature outside, the heat present outside the reaction should be absorbed by the reaction. Such reactions are called endothermic reaction. Endo means in, the heat is taken in. Okay, so it is called endothermic reaction. Do you understand? Similarly, a reaction in which heat is evolved means given out. Evolved means what? Given out is called an exothermic reaction. Is called a exothermic reaction. So when heat is taken in, it is called endothermic, and when the heat is given out, we call it as exothermic. Okay, do you understand the difference between endothermic and exothermic reactions? Yes, that sounds good. So let us discuss some examples of endothermic reactions. First of all, when nitrogen and oxygen reacts in the presence of electric spark, nitric oxide will be formed. So during this reaction, no, the temperature is taken in. Okay, for example, the melting of ice. Take the example of melting of ice. What happens? The melting ice absorbs the temperature. So you feel the surface of the vessel as chill. Actually, what is happening there? The heat is absorbed there. So it is an example of an endothermic reaction. Similarly, calcium carbonate, that is limestone, when it is heated to 900 degrees Celsius, quicklime, that is calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, are formed. So these are the examples of endothermic reaction. An endothermic reaction takes place only till the reactants are provided with the required energy. The reaction stops the moment the energy supply is cut off. Is it clear? Now some examples of exothermic reaction. When hydrogen and oxygen reacts, it forms water. So it's a exothermic. That is, during this reaction, heat energy will be given out. Similarly, carbon and oxygen burns, it forms carbon dioxide. Quicklime plus water, calcium hydroxide, slaked lime. So, sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride plus water. All these reactions are examples of exothermic reaction. So unlike endothermic reaction, an exothermic reaction once begin always reaches completion. So it will not be wind off in between. As much heat is evolved as required for the reaction to go on. Thus, once it starts, burning continues on its own. Okay, the reaction will not go off in the middle like endothermic reaction if we supply the energy, cut off this energy supply. Okay, is it clear about this energy changes? While writing the chemical reaction equation, you must mention some conditions on the reaction. That is, see, for example, A and B are reacting at 800 atmospheric pressure, 8 atmospheric pressure and 500 degrees Celsius. Then at the presence of Z, we get the product C and D. That Z is a catalyst. What is a catalyst? Catalyst is a substance that generally speed up the reaction. But itself remained unchanged. It will not involve in the chemical reaction, but it will speed up the reaction. Okay, to speed up the reaction, we add this catalyst, but catalyst will not take part in the chemical reaction. For example, hydrogen peroxide slowly get converted into water and oxygen if left alone. Okay, hydrogen peroxide will be converted into water and oxygen if it is left alone, but the reaction takes place quickly in the presence of manganese dioxide, which remained unchanged. Thus, manganese dioxide is a catalyst for this reaction. Do you understand? So, hydrogen peroxide, slowly it will convert into water and oxygen, but you can speed up the reaction by adding manganese dioxide. So, this manganese dioxide is called to be a catalyst, but this manganese dioxide will not involve in this reaction. That's the most important point you have to keep in remember. Okay, so this will speed up the catalyst is a substance which speed up the rate of the reaction, that is the speed of the reaction, but it will not involve in the chemical reaction. Do you understand what is a chemical catalyst? Yes, that sounds good. Okay, now the characteristics of chemical reaction. How can we identify the chemical reactions? There will be changes in color. The main thing is there will be changes in color. So when you heat copper to carbonate, which is green in color, it will give copper to oxide. The product will be copper to oxide, that will be black in color. So this color changes indicates the formation of product and the chemical reaction is going on. Similarly, when iron nails, that is gray in color, iron nails are gray in color, you know that, isn't it? So iron nails reacts with sulfuric acid, iron 2 sulfate will be formed. Iron 2 sulfate will be green in color. So when you soak the iron nails in sulfuric acid, slowly the solution will become light green in color. That indicates the formation of iron 2 sulfate and the evaluation of hydrogen gas. Okay children, and the evaluation of hydrogen gas, this is how we can identify the chemical reaction by change in color. The next concept is evaluation of a gas. Most chemical reactions are accompanied by the evaluation of gas. And each gas has its peculiar format. When hydrogen is evolved, you will hear the pops when you ignite that gas. You can hear the pop sound. Similarly, when ammonia is evolved, you can smell the pungent smell. Okay, and here we are going to conduct an experiment. Take a mixture of ammonium chloride and dry slaked lime in a test tube. Heat the mixture slowly. A pungent smelling gas is evolved. Place a glass rod which has been moistened with hydrochloric acid at the mouth of the test tube. Thick white fumes are formed, suggesting that the gas evolved as ammonia. So we can identify that by this test. Okay, a glass rod moistened with hydrochloric acid should be introduced to the white fumes. Fumes means smoke, a slight smoke. So this will confirm the formation of ammonia. Instead of heating ammonium chloride with slaked lime, you could boil ammonium chloride with a solution of sodium hydroxide also. So you can do this experiment also. Okay, now two experiments explain us that gases are generally evolved during the chemical reaction. During this evaluation of gases, sometimes we hear a hissing sound due to the reaction, and along with the gas bubbles. Okay, hissing sound and gas bubbles will be formed during this reaction, and that phenomenon is called to be effervescence. Effervescence, when gas bubbles are formed, usually with a hissing sound due to the reaction, and the phenomenon is called effervescence. Okay. See, look at this picture. This gas bubbles are formed, gas bubbles are formed here, and with the sound where you can hear the hissing sound. So this is called effervescence. Okay, this is called effervescence. Do you understand, children? Hope you have. Then the next characteristic is formation of precipitate. Formation of precipitate. The formation of precipitate is also a suggestive of a chemical reaction. It is also generally most of the chemical reaction involves in the precipitation process. Precipitation is the product obtained. Okay, here we are combining the potassium iodide solution and lead acetate solution, so that you will get lead iodide, which is a precipitate. This precipitate is yellowish in color. See, both the reactants are colorless. But the precipitate formed is yellow in color. Okay, so while writing in the equation, how will you indicate the presence of precipitate? The precipitate, if the product is a precipitate, it should be indicated with a downward arrow mark. Look, this downward arrow mark indicates that the product is a precipitate. Precipitate is nothing but it's like a curd is a semi-solid, no, the liquid which is a solid which is present in a liquid. So like that the precipitate will be. Okay, so this lead precipitate, barium carbonate, all these are precipitates. Okay, they have different colors. Each product has different colors, and it is indicated by this downward arrow mark. Is it clear, children? Similarly, for gases, the gases are indicated by the upward arrow mark. See, hydrogen is evolved, so the gases are indicated by upward arrow mark, and the precipitates are indicated by downward arrow mark. Keep this in your mind. Okay, children? Okay, the final characteristic of chemical reaction is change in state. So this change in state is nothing but, so when the reactants may be in some other state and the product may be in another different state. For example, hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is a gas. Similarly, oxygen is a gas, but what is formed? Water is a liquid. Okay, water is a liquid. Similarly, when ammonium and hydrogen chloride, okay, ammonia is also a gas, hydrogen chloride is also a gas, and you will get ammonium chloride, which is a solid. Okay, we understood. So this reaction, so when a glass rod is dipped in ammonium solution is brought near the test tube containing hydrochloric acid, ammonium chloride is formed. The solid particles of ammonium chloride gives a white color to the vapor. Okay, we understood. So this is the reaction. You can see here, when this glass rod is dipped in ammonia solution, which is brought near the test tube. In the test tube, this test tube contains hydrochloric acid and ammonium chloride is formed because of this reaction. This white color, no, this is formed because of the solid particles of ammonium chloride, the product. Okay, so these are the characteristic of chemical changes. So what are the changes we have seen? A change in color, the evaporation of gas, the formation of precipitate, and the change in state. So these are the characteristic of a chemical reaction. So the evaporation of gas the is indicated by upward arrow mark, and the formation of precipitate is indicated by the downward arrow mark. And what about the energy changes? Heat is absorbed means it is called endothermic, heat is given out means exothermic. Hope you have understood today's class very well, children. So complete the assignment and report in the group without fail, children. Thank you. Meet you in the next class.